So I recently picked up Arrow Video's 4K release of Jason Goes to Hell, part of their ongoing remasters of the Friday the 13th series. As a collector, I was excited to check out this edition, especially since it's the first time the film has received a native 4K transfer. The packaging immediately caught my attention, but the real question was, does this disc live up to the presentation? Let's start with the slipcover itself. Arrow Video doesn't disappoint in this department. The artwork features a gritty, split-face image of Jason, one side showing a classic mask, and the other side showing the silver Jason mask that I don't quite remember seeing. The split down the middle reveals an autopsy report with the phrase, "The heart still beats." Fans will recognize this reference instantly. There's a dark and red-yellow palette with grotesque detailing that fits the film style well. Honestly, the artwork might be the most polished aspect of this release. Inside you will find two discs, a booklet and a double-sided poster showcasing the new art and the original movie poster. Flip the case around and you'll find the usual Arrow layout. Synopsis, disc specs, and list of included features. Most features are ported from previous releases, but there's still enough here to dive into the film's chaotic legacy. This is a native 4K transfer with support for HDR10 and Dolby Vision. The film is presented in a 1.85 aspect ratio, so it will fill up your whole screen. And it clocks in about 91 minutes for the unrated version and 88 minutes for the theatrical version. Let's get it out of the way early. This is the best Jason Goes to Hell has ever looked, but it doesn't mean that it looks great. The HDR implementation is subtle. Colors feel mostly natural, without the feel of oversaturation. Some highlights, like the explosions early in the film, do benefit from the HDR. Fire glows brighter, skin tones look solid, and the blood is brighter than ever. But overall, the movie feels like someone just slightly boosted the color settings, not a dramatic upgrade. Black levels vary wildly. When the exposure is nailed, the shadows are inky and black, but less properly lit scenes break down in grain and noise. It's especially noticeable during low light scenes outside or in the end of the movie in the restaurant. I was hoping for more consistency when it came to the black levels, but when they are good, man, are they dark and inky. On the upside, details in the close-up shots are excellent. Faces, fabrics, and textures all show a significant uptick in sharpness and detail. However, wide shots tend to soften considerably and lack the amount of detail presented in the close-ups. When the camera goes wide, the image gets soft. Night scenes are another mixed experience. Some show immersive shadow detail, while others, especially dimly lit interiors, feel murky and grainy. I do see a big uptick in shadow detail in exterior night scenes though, and really good black levels as well. But then you'll find yourselves in situations like the Voorhees house where you'll see grain and faded black levels in certain parts of the image, but at the same time get really dark and inky black levels on different parts of the image. If there's one area where this 4K disc does truly shine though, it's the practical effects. The grotesque body horror scenes, melting corpses, the infamous body snatcher moments, and the prosthetic gore look absolutely disgusting in the best way possible. These scenes have texture, depth, and visceral punch that is amplified in 4K. The skin tearing, goopy fluids, and slimy effects pop off the screen. If you're into that kind of nastiness, these scenes alone might justify the upgrade. The audio is presented in a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, but it lacks punch. Dialogue often sounds too sharp or loud when the volume is cranked up too much. The gunshots are muffled and lack any bass. The ambient effects feel flat, and the musical score, which is fine, also lacked punch. It was just loud and not very atmospheric. Visually, this isn't a bad transfer, but it's far from reference quality. The restoration does bring out more detail and provides a clearer image than previous versions, but the inconsistencies in sharpness, shadow detail, and grain control are noticeable. Arrow Video likely did the best they could with what they had, but the source limitations are apparent. Final verdict, Arrow's packaging is stellar. The restoration is good but not great. The disc is not a must-have unless you're a die-hard Jason fan, or a collector who needs every title. I also sat down and watched Jason X for a review, and let me tell you, that one makes this movie look like Oppenheimer, 4K wise at least. I'll keep both Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell in my collection, but both these titles reminded me why it's better to invest in movies I actually enjoy rather than just to complete a set. Lesson learned.